Hello guys, welcome. So we're going to keep this one, I think, a little bit like kind of shorter, sweeter. The real thing that we want to talk about is we have a specific line. It's an area of support, and Bitcoin is in fact holding that area of support, which is very, very good to see. And then we'll just have a quick look at some of the options that are expiring today, and see how that might affect the market at the end of the trading day in the US. So we're not there yet. AJ, do you want to walk us through some TA? See what we're looking at?
Yeah, let's take a quick look at that then. Just share my screen with you. So yeah, taking a look, starting off with this 4-hour chart. I showed you this in yesterday's video. I've been showing you this for a while now. And the main area that I'm looking at this moment in time is this support level that you can see on the screen right now. Now, this support level is going to be very, very critical support, and it is being very critical support because looking back in history, we have used this as major resistance, and we have used it as resistance, here literally to the dollar. So it gives me a lot of confidence in this level that this is a very, very important level. As of right now, you can see that we have previously come and tested this as support, and we are seeing quite a nice bounce off this level. There's more confluence as well with this level. We have this rising channel that you can see here, these two white lines, lots of support at the bottom of the channel, and lots of resistance at the top of this channel as well. So this channel is being respected quite well. We did break to the upside. We did come back to the retest, and we found nice support. And again, we are seeing that nice bounce off of that level. And again, this lines up as well, even more confluence with this value area high here. That lines up just at the bottom of this support level. We did come and test that level as well. I've been talking about this for a few days now. This VPVR, we do have the value area high up here and the value area low down here, and then we have the value high right here. That is another very important support level. So that is sat at this support level here as well. So if we were to break this support level here, then we do have support at this level because previous support and lots of resistance at this level. But as of right now, on the 4-hour, we are looking great. We are finding support and we are bouncing. If we move on towards the daily, looking at the daily, we did have this break to the upside of this bearish flag. Now that was bullish. For me, that invalidated that $12,000 target that we did have. For me, initially, I didn't think we were going to break towards the upside because the previous bear flag, we did break towards the downside and we did hit that price target. But luckily, we did break to the upside, invalidating that price target. Now, the price target for breaking towards the upside, we're not taking this as a bearish flag anymore. We're taking this as a rising channel. And then we take the price target from the top to the bottom of the channel, take it to the breakout point. And that gives us a target of around $24,600. We came close to that, $24,250. But yeah, that's the target I will be looking at. And for me, to sort of confirm that we aren't going lower than sort of that $17,500 level, I would like to see Bitcoin hold this support up here, which was major resistance previously. So if Bitcoin does come back down and have this bigger correction, then I would really like to see Bitcoin continuing to hold this support level here and see a nice bounce off that level. That'll be a nice confirmation for me. And again, remember, we have flipped bearish on that pi cycle bottom indicator previously. Flipping bearish is actually very bullish because it has signaled the bottom. I've showed you, I've gone through in a video, loads of indicators that have signaled to me that we have established that bottom. So hopefully, what we're looking at this week and what we're looking at over the next 2 days and 12 hours is for us to break above this yellow line here, which is the 200 MA. As of right now, we are getting the break towards the upside, but again, we do have 12 days and 12 hours left of this weekly candle, so a lot can happen in that time.
Days.
Yeah, sorry, 12 days and 12 hours. Yeah, so
Yeah.
a lot can happen in that time. So We've previously used it as major support, so it is going to act as resistance. But once we get above it, hopefully we can use it as support again. That's more confirmation that that was the bottom, and we are getting ready for that bull market. We do have a lot of time until that bull market starts. I personally think, I think we're going to have a lot of consolidation, but initially, it's just more signs that that bull market is getting ever so close.
No, I absolutely agree with you. No,
yeah,
because that's the thing. Like I think we are getting closer. At the moment, if we close above this yellow line here, I do think that we'll see a little. That will be a bit of confidence, really, and it will give investors a bit of confidence. But right now, and I've seen a couple different kind of institutional analysts and stuff like this. They're talking about, it depends on how we finish at the end of this week. If we finish in like a good position, we could then have a little bit of a bull run up to that next level. So whether it's kind of 28K, some people were talking about maybe 32 or around about this level here, 30 to 40. But, at the end of the day, this is probably still a relief rally in a bit of a bear market. But, it still is a good opportunity to be buying and selling. And AJ, can I just quickly show some options on Bitcoin before we jump back into some more technicals?
Go ahead. Yes.
So just wanted to bring this up here. As you can all see on the screen, this was obviously what people are going to be looking at today is bulls or bears both have a fair chance in Friday's Bitcoin options expiry. So this is going to happen obviously later on today. Once the US trading day opens, a lot of orders will be executed and then, kind of closed throughout the day. So here we are. You don't really kind of need to read too much, but basically the bottom line is here you have a ratio at different levels, so where people are having their options. So and the way an option works, for those of you who don't know, it basically you pay a little bit of money and then that gives you the option to buy at a specific price, and you can either buy or you can sell at that price. Here you can have a look at the actual data itself. You can do this on CoinGlass. This is what I've used. You go into obviously the options section, and you can have a look through open interest in options or futures. But obviously, I've gone for options here. So kind of having a look further down, the call, open interest, and then the put. So a call is where you want to buy and a put is where you want to sell. And so the ratio is mainly, a lot of buyers, but having a look here, we can see that if we do close above, let's say, a certain level, there's going to be a lot of people buying, because obviously if we get to, let's say, 25K, there's a lot of people who want to buy because, this is going to validate that we are above those yellow lines we just saw earlier. We're above, the kind of areas of key support. And so then people want to be getting into the market. And then, if we invalidate this current little jump that we're in, we will then see obviously a lot of people wanting to sell, because if we get to 17,000, a lot of people are going to want to sell, because then that kind of, it brings us back towards that 12K price target that we see. But these are very good to see where it is that generally people kind of see a bit of a 50-50, which is around about this 23,000 level that we see here.
Yeah. So that's
bring that in.
That's act as resistance as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and then just to quickly go over some of the numbers that we see from this article. So call, obviously buy, puts, sell. So no one really wants to sell if Bitcoin breaks above its current resistance and then hits us with, let's say a $24,000 or $26,000 price target. People don't want to be selling there. So that means that the bulls will be profiting to like 235 million. But then, the inverse, if we are at between 20 and 21,000, then there's going to be a lot more people wanting to sell, and then having, as opposed to having bought. So then there will be 60 million profit for the bears, just to kind of give you a little bit of numbers there. So we can jump back into a bit of technicals if you have them, AJ.
Yeah, I just wanted to add on to what you sort of said, sort of the price coming up close to sort of that $30,000 level again, and I think that's a level we need to be looking at very closely at the moment, because we are seeing this nice relief rally, and I've told you previously that $28,500 I think could be a pretty realistic target for this relief rally, because looking back in history, we've used this major support level as major support. You can see lots and lots of touches in this level, and this is what was holding us up previously before we got this massive leg down here, that took us all the way down to $17,500. So this level here, which is sat at currently around $28,500, $600, for me, is going to act as major resistance, and that also lines up with the data that the VPVR is telling us as well. If we have a look, you can see, get my pen tool out, we have this value area here, and we have this value area here as well, and the very bottom of the value area low of this value area here is currently sat at $28,500. So that's more confidence for me that this is going to be a very strong resistance level. As of right now, we have broken above that value area high here, this previous value area high. So using that as support as well, in confluence with this support of the top of this channel, is going to be major support at that level. So if we do see stock pullback, I think the likelihood of it is we are going to see a nice bounce off that level, and hopefully continue up to this value area high here, because what we tend to see is when we get these gaps in the VPVR, the price tends to sort of smash through those prices once we break that value area high, and we see a pretty sharp move towards the upside. So for me, $28,500 as a target for this relief rally is something pretty realistic. So that's what I am keeping my eye on at the moment. Why are we seeing this relief rally in the crypto market? Well, that's mostly down to the traditional market. We're seeing
Buyer sentiment, I'd say. I think he's actually frozen. Yeah, I think he's frozen. But I imagine what he was going to say would be buyer sentiment. A little bit more happy for people to kind of be moving into that risk. I guess the risk on, now that we're seeing that we might actually be near a low in a lot of different assets. So if we are kind of approaching that low and inflation's beginning to calm down, I think that might be why we're seeing more people move towards this risk on to get in early. I think that. AJ, hello.
Yeah, I'm back.
He's back. Okay. So yeah, audio went a bit weird. I was just letting them know it's kind of you mentioned about the reason why we're seeing a bit of an increase in Bitcoin, and I said it's probably down to a bit of buyer sentiment. So moving away from those slightly safer assets, and then into some of these more risky ones, which obviously we can't really talk about risky assets without talking about the Nasdaq.
Yeah, without the Nasdaq, and yeah, just to say about that as well, people moving into riskier assets, we are seeing the DXY come down slightly, so that's another reason as well. But also the Nasdaq, we're seeing the Nasdaq have a nice pump, but the Nasdaq is coming up into sort of major resistance, major resistance here previously, and before that, when we were above this level, we did use it as some nice support. So this is going to be a very critical level for the Nasdaq to break above. If the Nasdaq can break above this, then I think there's going to be more upside for Bitcoin. And if we can get up to these levels here on the Nasdaq, then I think that $28,500 level is a pretty realistic level for the crypto market. So hopefully the Nasdaq can get above this level and use that as support. That will be great. Moving on swiftly to Ethereum. Ethereum is coming into resistance like the Nasdaq is. This level here, which is sat at around $1,700. If we zoom out, you can see we have used it as previous support. And if I zoom out even more, we have used it as even more support in the past. So this is why I do think this is going to be a major resistance level for Ethereum. So if we do come up to this level, I think it's going to take some time for us to break above it. I think, a slight rejection from this level is something that could be pretty realistic, because we are seeing the indicators become very overextended. So a nice, little pullback from that level, and then, letting those indicators reset and then breaking above it eventually is something that I think is pretty realistic for Ethereum. So that's sort of all I've got for you on the technical side of things.
Yeah, and I'm just going to wrap this up here, guys. Looking at some of the traditional markets. So this is the most anticipated earnings. The reason why I'm mentioning this is obviously we spoke about some of the impacts that these have. Obviously, the tech stocks on the Nasdaq, which again feeds into the wider sentiment of investors and whether they're going to be buying treasuries because the world's about to burn, or whether the world is actually getting a little bit better, and so they might move into some tech stocks. So as some of you might know, Snapchat down by 30% pre-market.
Yeah, should I just
and
chart for that quickly?
sorry,
I'll just show the chart for that. It's going to be
absolutely.
30% pullback for Snapchat, if the pre-market stays around this level. So, not looking too good for Snapchat.
Exactly. So Snapchat, that was obviously down quite a lot after their earnings, which then kind of affected other social media platforms, which obviously are tech. Although Amazon looking pretty good. So I think next week, and this might be why some people are trying to anticipate exactly what these earnings might be, because we have the likes of Microsoft, Alphabet. And then we also have Meta as well. So some of the biggest names in terms of FANG, Facebook, Amazon, Google, and Apple. So Apple, Amazon on Thursday, Meta on Wednesday, and then Google and Microsoft on Tuesday. So very, very big week next week. So I'm quite excited for that. But again, that is going to weigh very heavily on the NASDAQ and then also on the sentiment of crypto assets, really. Because although we did go through that decoupling, I still think there is a link there. Yes, we are, the crypto market's weighed down by the likes of Celsius, Voyager, BlockFi, etc. I lagged out. But yeah, so I still think that there is, there's going to be that massive correlation there. So anyway, yeah, I think that's pretty much everything, really. Unless you guys have any questions, happy for you to drop them in. If not, then I'll bid you a good day.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay. Well, I'll be keeping you up to date with regards to some of the earnings next week, and then also don't forget on Wednesday, very, very big day in terms of the Fed news coming out. That's going to be huge. So again, having a print of maybe 100 basis points or even 75, I think both of them will probably be bullish for Bitcoin and our class of risk on assets.
Yeah, and hopefully that can, break all the resistance that we're coming into right now on the technical side.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully that's what we can only hope. But we do have a ton of we are in a bit of a bad environment. But hopefully we can. Next week, Aikeshi, it is on Wednesday, I believe. So I'll obviously give you an update, and we will see you tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you very much for watching. Make sure you wear protection.
Yeah, always use protection every part of your life. It's a costly mistake if you don't. that still applies to your stop loss. All right, guys, take care. Thanks for joining. See you tomorrow.